For some, the do's and the don'ts of this faith are not very clear. I will change this now. You're supposed to follow the virtues. And first of all, seek pleasure. Pleasure can only be experienced in life. Thus, you have to live, obviously, and to prolong your lifespan and ensure safety of your life. Safety. Also, you're supposed to be free to express yourself, so freedom of expression and seeking it. Also, progress, you have to progress. You have to use technology, and you have to use anything that makes your work easier, faster, more efficient, and brings more satisfying results. Obviously, the don'ts of this religion. Don't commit sins. And first of all, death is a sin because you cannot have pleasure and cannot express your divinity if you are a corpse. There is no afterlife, at least there is no confirmation of such a thing as afterlife existing. You have to avoid anything that shortens your lifespan. Therefore, you have to avoid, and if you already have beat addictions, avoid bodily harm, so don't harm others, don't compromise security of yourself and of others. And oftentimes, if you harm others, they are going to commit revenge. So that's also not harming others allows you to not be harmed yourself in turn. Don't take liberty from yourself and from others. Don't compromise liberty, because then you will not be free to express yourself and your divinity, and that's basically the crime against the divinity. You disrespect the divine nature of yourself and of others if you take liberty from others or trade your own liberty for anything. Of course, it is a minor virtue compared to life, so if temporary compromise of your liberty leads you to prolonged life, then you better prioritize life, because situations change, and maybe today you are not very free, but tomorrow you will be. And if you lose life, you lose everything. And finally, avoid any doctrine that dictates you to abolish your progress in your business, progress in your creations. Avoid technological progress. Avoid anything that makes your life longer, easier, your work more efficient. Those were the very basic do's and don'ts. Now we go a little bit deeper. You have to learn to control your emotions and your habits. That is necessary in order to keep yourself motivated. You have to invoke the sensation of inspiration in yourself in order to allow your divinity to be manifested. You have to create things. You have to seek adventures and meaningful experiences, because only then you make change into the world, and therefore you act as a deity. So you have to invoke inspiration. Force yourself to feel inspired. You have to make inspiration your habit. So you have to control your habits. You have to remove those habits that lead you to sinful behavior, and install those behaviors in yourself that cause you to behave in accordance to the virtues, at least not violating them. And of course, you have to create the habit of inspiring yourself and forcing yourself to be inspired regularly. Another very important habit is to regularly fight your burnouts. Of course, if you always create things and always stimulate yourself, you will experience the burnout, but it is just the same as any other emotion. You have to manually take it, remove it. You have to keep fighting it. You must learn that you are the master of your mind. You are the god. You are not mere mortal. You are not an animal. You are a human being. And ability to control yourself and prevail over your instincts is what makes you human and your ability to express your divinity, ability to make impact on the world, is what makes you not just a human, but a god. That is not all yet. So some believe that our faith is about the quality of pleasure, not the quantity of pleasure. That is wrong. Highest quality of pleasure leads to addiction, and addiction leads to sin, because it leads to self-harm or harm of others, and therefore to everything that we have named above as the sins. That is wrong. So we seek the amount of pleasure. We seek a lot of events and a lot of phenomena that will make us experience joy and make our life eventful and therefore meaningful. We don't seek intense emotions that bring us to self-destruction or destruction of others. We seek to have fun and to be happy, and that requires moderation. That requires a situation when you are in control. So you must not sabotage yourself. Experience many minor pleasures, but don't trade that for one singular, very pleasurable experience which will bring you to the loss of liberty. You might get imprisoned if you commit something extremely pleasurable, but that might turn out to be criminal. You don't want that. Or loss of life, because if you, let's say, take drugs or overdose on them, of course you would feel very good, but not for long. It would be very short. So you are not supposed to do that. Of course, it doesn't matter in case you are immortal, but immortality has not been invented yet, at least at the moment of creation of this video. So for now it matters. You must control your obsessions in such a way that as you indulge in them, you have to overindulge. You have to receive frustration from them. You might even force that by controlling your emotions and artificially invoking the sensation of frustration. You have to fully invest in your projects and in your pleasures, but you have to reach the state of frustration, because then you create the habit of expecting frustration from any emotional attachment, and therefore you prevent yourself from possibly reaching the state of addiction, the state of being when you have the habit of expectation of frustration from any obsession that you form willingly or by accident, is what we consider the ascension. You ascend over the danger of experiencing addiction, and therefore your pleasure might be not very intense. However, it will be safe and will not allow you to commit sins. So you will be safe, and it will be healthy indulgence in anything that you pursue that you expect to have fun from. Addiction and everything sinful is what we call insanity. So all in all, you are supposed to pursue ascension, avoid insanity, respect and don't violate virtues, don't commit sins, seek inspiration always. Also, act upon your inspiration. This way you manifest divinity and pay your respect to your divinity. Divinity is ability and process of change of the world or change of some components of the world. Respect and never sabotage your divinity. Respect and never sabotage divinity of others. Any divinity matters. It doesn't matter whether it's yours or somebody else's. All divinities are equally valuable.